Chapter 1. The Decisive Moment. Stop waiting, start doing. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every life when a pivotal decision must be made. Not a decision of mere convenience, but one of destiny. It's the moment to stop waiting, stop wishing, and decisively start doing. Every monumental achievement, every towering success, every remarkable triumph is built on one foundation: action. Chapter 2. Action. The only bridge to your desired reality. Not thought, not intention, not meticulous planning alone, but action. Action is the indispensable bridge that spans the chasm between your current reality and your desired destination. The distance between where you stand now and the success you envision isn't bridged by wishes, hope, or even sheer intelligence. It is solely filled by movement. Every individual who has ever accomplished something truly significant did so not by patiently awaiting the opportune moment, nor by possessing some innate, superior talent. They achieved greatness by compelling themselves to take action when it felt difficult, uncomfortable, and shrouded in uncertainty. Chapter 3. The Myth of the Perfect Time and the Trap of Motivation. The capacity to relentlessly push forward, despite the gnawing presence of fear, the insidious whispers of doubt, and the often formidable resistance, is the defining characteristic that distinguishes those who ultimately succeed from those who remain perpetually stuck in the same place, year after relentless year. The majority of people navigate a world riddled with indecision. They yearn for more. They dream of a better existence. Yet they allow the paralyzing grip of hesitation to steal their future. They invest months, even years, sometimes an entire lifetime, waiting for the mythical perfect moment, the flawlessly crafted plan, the ideal feeling that will magically render taking action effortless. But let's be clear, there is no perfect moment. The flawless plan exists only in our imaginations. And relying on motivation as your sole catalyst for action is a fundamentally losing strategy, because motivation is an inherently fleeting emotion. Chapter 4. The Power of Taking the First Uncomfortable Step. If you make motivation the prerequisite for action, you will remain tethered to the unpredictable tides of your emotions, acting only when the mood strikes and retreating the instant the going gets tough. The true key to profound transformation lies in acting before you feel entirely ready. Force yourself to take that initial step forward, even when doubt relentlessly creeps into your thoughts, even when fear attempts to shackle you. Because here's a crucial secret. Once you initiate movement, the powerful force of momentum takes over. Chapter 5. Momentum. The engine of progress. One small, deliberate step forward generates energy, and that energy, in turn, fuels further progress. The most challenging phase of any significant journey is invariably the beginning. That precise moment when every fiber of your being seems to resist, when a torrent of excuses floods your mind, when fear urgently whispers for you to remain safely where you are. However, if you can summon the will to push through that initial, often intense resistance, if you can make yourself take that first uncomfortable step, you will discover that the very act of taking action ignites the motivation you mistakenly believed you needed beforehand. Chapter 6. Consistent effort. The foundation of greatness. Every single success story that commands your admiration is built upon an unshakable foundation of consistent, disciplined action. No individual who has ever attained greatness did so by idly waiting until they felt like it. The entrepreneur who painstakingly built a multi-million-dollar business didn't always feel like waking up early every day to grind, but they did it anyway. The athlete who triumphantly won championships did not feel like enduring grueling training sessions on days of utter exhaustion, but they forced themselves to show up. The writer who penned best-selling novels didn't always feel inspired, but they sat down and wrote, regardless of their fluctuating mood. This is the defining characteristic of high achievers. They consistently do what needs to be done, irrespective of their emotional state. Chapter 7. Overcoming your mind's resistance. The mind is an incredibly powerful instrument, yet can also become your most formidable adversary. It will conjure an endless stream of justifications for why you should postpone action, why now is supposedly not the right time, why you are allegedly not adequately prepared. It will skillfully convince you that taking action is inherently risky, that failure is a source of unbearable embarrassment, that remaining in your current comfort zone offers a semblance of safety. But let's be clear, safety in stagnation is a dangerous illusion. The genuine risk lies in not taking action. The true peril lies in allowing another year, another decade, another precious lifetime to slip away without making meaningful movement toward the life you deeply desire. Regret is a far more corrosive and enduring pain than failure, and the only reliable antidote to regret is to act, and to act now. Chapter 8. The real risk, inaction and the pain of regret. Taking action does not guarantee immediate success on the first attempt. In fact, failure is often an inevitable part of the process. But failure is not the ultimate enemy. Inaction is. Every mistake, every setback, every misstep encountered along the way is a valuable lesson, a crucial stepping stone that propels you closer to your ultimate goal. The individuals who ultimately succeed are not the ones who never experience failure. They're the ones who resolutely refuse to allow failure to define or stop them. They view failure as invaluable feedback, adjust their approach accordingly, and relentlessly keep moving forward. This is the essential mindset you must cultivate if you aspire to break free from the shackles of stagnation and create the success you truly desire. Chapter 9. Breaking free from the cycle of procrastination. Procrastination is a silent, insidious killer of dreams. It often disguises itself as a harmless delay, as the seemingly benign notion that you will simply start tomorrow, or next week, or next year. But procrastination has a compounding effect over time. The more you delay, the more daunting it becomes to even begin. Every day you postpone taking action is another day lost, another valuable opportunity squandered. If you are serious about achieving success, you must decisively break free from the self-defeating cycle of procrastination and consciously train yourself to act with immediacy. The instant you commit to a goal, take some form of action toward it, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Do not wait for the perfect plan to materialize. Do not wait until you magically feel ready. Just start. Chapter 10. Success is earned, not given. Your life will not magically transform through mere wishful thinking. Success is not a gift that is freely bestowed. It is earned through relentless, consistent effort. If you genuinely desire to achieve your most ambitious goals, you must be willing to do what the majority of people are not. Take action, even when it feels profoundly uncomfortable, even when it feels terrifying, even when it feels utterly impossible. The fundamental difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not some inherent advantage in talent, luck, or intelligence. It is the unwavering ability to push forward despite the inevitable resistance. Chapter 11. The uncomfortable truth. There's never a perfect time. There will never be a perfectly convenient time to begin. There will never be a magical moment when everything feels easy and completely effortless. If you truly want to change the trajectory of your life, if you want to transform your cherished dreams into tangible reality, you must summon the courage and discipline to force yourself to take action, and to take that action now. The bridge to success is painstakingly built one step at a time, and the only way to cross that bridge is to start walking. Chapter 12. Recognizing and conquering internal resistance. Resistance is that insidious, invisible force that keeps the vast majority of people trapped in the suffocating confines of mediocrity. It is the subtle hesitation that precedes taking meaningful action, the insidious fear that whispers doubts into your ear, the never-ending cycle of excuses that perpetually delay progress. Is the underlying reason why so many dreams remain just that, dreams. why ambitious goals are left perpetually unaccomplished, and why countless individuals live far below their true potential. Resistance is not an external adversary. It resides within you. It is your own mind, your own ingrained doubts, your own deeply rooted fears working actively against your progress. And unless you consciously learn to recognize and overcome this internal saboteur, you will remain stuck, a passive observer watching others achieve their aspirations while you remain standing still. The greatest battle you will ever wage is not against external competition or insurmountable obstacles, but against the relentless resistance that dwells within you. It is that inner voice that constantly urges you to wait, that subtly convinces you to remain safely within the confines of your comfort zone, that effortlessly manufactures excuses for why now is never the right time. Resistance often disguises itself in the cloak of logical reasoning, convincingly arguing that you need more information, that you need to be more fully prepared before even considering starting, that external conditions must be absolutely perfect. But perfection is a seductive illusion, and waiting for its arrival only serves to strengthen the grip of resistance. The longer you procrastinate, the more formidable the internal barriers become, making it increasingly difficult to finally act. Success ultimately belongs to those who dare to take action despite the gnawing presence of hesitation. It belongs to those who possess the awareness to recognize resistance for exactly what it is, a test of your resolve. Every moment of hesitation presents a critical opportunity, an opportunity to either succumb to the inertia of resistance or to forcefully push through its stifling grip. The individuals who achieve true greatness are not those who never experience resistance. They are those who resolutely refuse to allow it to dictate their actions. They fundamentally understand that action, not mere contemplation, is the indispensable key to tangible progress. They move forward, even when uncertainty clouds their path, even when fear attempts to paralyze them, even when doubt relentlessly tries to hold them back. Chapter 14. Overcoming Fear and the Allure of Comfort. Fear is one of resistance's most potent allies. It has the power to paralyze, making you believe that taking action is inherently dangerous, that failure carries an unbearable risk, that it is inherently safer to simply remain where you are. But the true, often overlooked danger lies in prolonged stagnation. Every day that passes without deliberate action is a day irretrievably lost, a day you can never reclaim. The fear of potential failure should never outweigh the far more significant and enduring fear of profound regret. Failure is often a temporary setback, but regret can linger for a lifetime. Those who take action, even if they stumble and fall along the way, at least have the invaluable opportunity to learn, to grow, to adjust their course. But those who allow fear to dictate their choices remain prisoners of their own paralyzing hesitation. Resistance also thrives in the comfortable confines of your current situation. It subtly convinces you that where you are is good enough, that pushing beyond your current limitations is unnecessary, that any form of discomfort should be actively avoided. But comfort is the insidious enemy of progress. True growth only occurs when you deliberately step beyond what feels easy and familiar, when you actively challenge yourself, when you force yourself to do the very things that others are unwilling to do. The individuals who achieve the most significant success are rarely those who had the easiest path. They're the ones who embraced discomfort, who faced challenges head-on, who took decisive action despite the ever-present specter of uncertainty. Chapter 13. Motivation is created by action, not the other way around. The vast majority of people mistakenly assume that motivation is the essential prerequisite for action, believing they must first feel inspired before they can even consider taking the initial step. But motivation is an inherently unreliable force, ebbing and flowing like the unpredictable tides. If you make motivation your primary driver for action, you will inevitably find yourself trapped in a cycle of inconsistency. And without consistent effort, sustained success remains an unattainable illusion. The profound truth is that action itself often creates motivation. When you force yourself to take that crucial first step, even when you don't feel remotely inclined to do so, something fundamental shifts within you. Movement generates energy, and that burgeoning energy, in turn, fuels the momentum necessary to keep going. The initial push is always the most challenging, but once you begin to move, the power of resistance begins to wane. Chapter 15. The futility of excuses. Excuses are another insidious weapon in resistance's formidable arsenal. They often sound perfectly reasonable, even undeniably logical. I simply don't have enough time. I lack the necessary experience. I'll start as soon as I have more resources. But these are not legitimate reasons. They're self-imposed barriers designed to keep you safely within your comfort zone. The undeniable truth is that there will never be a perfect time. You will never feel completely, unequivocally ready. There will always be obstacles to navigate. The only viable path forward is to take action with the resources you currently possess, precisely where you are right now. Those who ultimately succeed do not wait for ideal conditions to magically materialize. They actively create opportunities by acting decisively, even in the face of imperfection. Chapter 16. The decisive power of immediate action. One of the most potent strategies for effectively overcoming resistance is to commit to taking action before your mind has a chance to conjure its usual litany of doubts and excuses. The longer you dwell on a decision, the stronger resistance becomes. Overthinking invariably leads to doubt, and doubt is the fertile ground in which inaction takes root. When you have a clear goal, when a compelling idea sparks within you, act on it immediately. Take that crucial first step, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Do not afford yourself the luxury of hesitation. The very instant you feel the familiar tendrils of resistance beginning to creep in, deliberately move forward before it can fully take control. Chapter 17. Discipline, the antidote to resistance. Discipline is the potent antidote to the insidious poison of resistance. It is the unwavering ability to act, not based on the ever-shifting sands of your emotions, but based on the commitments you have consciously made. Discipline means showing up consistently and relentlessly, even when you don't feel like it.